Good morning, guys. I just wanted to jump in here, and I saw Gina B ask me some questions about angels. And just to say, I got to get on some. Oh, look at my hair. Anyways, and get on some sort of schedule for you guys, which I completely understand. It's not consistent right now, but I'm juggling this matrix world with how my angels come through. And so I thought I'd just come on here and talk about what I'm going through to maybe help you guys. So the Matrix. I'm not going to explain what the Matrix is. You guys can Google that. But let's just break it down a little bit. And that is that whole consistency of basically you had to have a job and that's what pays you and it's 8 to 5 and showing up, which since COVID has really showed the world upside down that it doesn't have to be that way. But what if you're in a place, which is where I was, which I need to use my creative, artistic brain at the same time I need to use the other side, which is that, you know, logical, detailed, synergy team concept, right? So, how do you blend the two? And then, where do the angels fit into all this? And that's the question that keeps popping up um, in talking to me. So, first of all, I'll say this: when you start to ignore the other side, it creeps in. And what I mean by that is, for example, I've been really busy lately with work, so I haven't been zoned in on a lot. I do meditate every morning and every night, 30 minutes in the shower. I've talked about that before. Um, so one thing that happens to me is I just start seeing repetitive signs to the point it just doesn't stop. So lately I've seen 818, it just keeps balancing, it just keeps coming up, coming up. It's a big twin flame number. It's also a number that talks about basically balance, stability. So, when we're awake in a like and we pay attention to things, I mean, like I said, even if you don't pay attention, it'll eventually knock you on your head. Um, it's just a reminder, right? It makes you slow down, it makes you think of things. Hey, someone's trying to say something. So repetitive numbers, the other ones I keep seeing right now are 222, and I just saw 707. So now, where do we go with the signs? I'm not saying to look at every single sign. All I'm saying is if it catches your eye enough, just kind of awaken and start Googling, like, what is this saying to me? What does this mean to me? What do the angels want me to know? Now, the angels work the same way. Um, all of a sudden, you can see a light that kind of goes by. I don't know how to explain it, but you'll see almost a glistening that just doesn't look right. And then if you pause for a second, you might see color in that glisten. That's kind of what happens to me. So lately, which is I was going to talk about Archangel Michael, which is odd because the blue is on me, but I've talked about this before. He's the easiest one to see. Um, and how you kind of know he comes to you is it's a feeling. It's just this big, like if feelings had colors, as odd as that sounds, that's how it feels. There's just this strength. And you could start talking to him. The angels, regardless of the matrix or not, they're still around you and helping you. So right now, how I use the matrix, and this is me, and I'm still trying to find balance, but I really like the synergy of a team. I'm just a team person. Some people are, some people aren't. I like to work together. I like to manage people. I guess indirectly, I like people to need me as much as I need them to, just that transference of energy in different departments and kind of being the nucleus or synergy of that process, I enjoy. The other thing I enjoy is I feel like when you're deep in the matrix world, the angels and spirituality and creativity aren't spoken about enough. And I notice with where I am, I bring it up a lot and it makes people feel uncomfortable, but it also then makes people ask more questions and understand things. I always say I wouldn't be where I am had I not followed my heart, and I just keep staying open, and the right things fall in my lap and the right lessons fall in my lap. A lot of people say you can't be a creative and then jump in the corporate world, just like you have to have a home and that's how you know you're doing right if you own a house. And those are just all BS. So once you start really getting clear with what makes you feel like at home. So for me, my dog, that's why I named him Miru. Miru in Sanskrit means it's the house, it's the abode in the center of the universe that houses the gods. And I know that's a strong name for a dog. I get it. But for me, it was one of those things where it's all about spirituality and a reminder every time I say his name, and it's calming. So I knew he'd be this spiritual, calming little being, which he is. Also, on the rosary, it's the bead you pray on. So, you know, learning how to add things into your life to make them basically to make your spirituality like bleed into the to the corporate world. There's a book that just came up to me that I read. I think it's called Sacred Hoops. Hi, Katie. And it's written by Phil. God, I can't remember his last name. He's the basketball coach of the Bulls. You'll have to look up his last name. Phil, I can't believe I can't remember it. But anyways, it's an incredible book. And he basically talks about how he had Rodman, Jordan, Pippen, and how he balanced egos to uplift basically his team to be better team, right? And learn how to work together. And that's pretty much what happens in a very abstract view in the corporate world. You bring your own principles and your own individuality, and you choose whether you become basically the man, or you keep your own individuality and take your own side on it. And right now in the spirit, I mean, in the corporate world, what's great is we have all these millennials who just don't care what the corporate world says. They'll just quit. And it's so great because instead of saying, this is your time off, they tell me when they're taking off because I don't want them to quit. And it really, really works, right? Because when people feel like they have freedom and they can show up when they're actually their best, we get the best out of people in that moment. And also, you learn about mental health and really learning how to execute at certain times. So, anyways, I wanted to come on here. Gina B asked me how I see angels. I think another way I see angels, and I know this is weird, but I'm so open, they just randomly come to me. And what I mean by that is um, just driving down the street, you just kind of look around and all of a sudden I'll just see like Michael, 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 or um, if I'm feeling a certain way, like if a day comes about and I'm like, man, I'm just like, what's up with the collective? I can feel the energy down. I immediately just start thinking, okay, how do I uplift this? Where can I go? What are some words? Who are some people I can talk to? And I think of Raphael, right? So I think part of learning about the angels or wanting them to talk to you is actually doing your research too. Because if you really don't know what you're looking for and you haven't done your own part, then I mean, they can show up in front of you, but you don't really kind of know what you're looking for, right? It's the same way, like if you're not on their frequency and you don't know how to tune yourself to maybe hear them or feel them, however you relate to them, then what's going to happen? You can't, right? So it's just like sign language. That's a great way to put it. How can I start signing with someone if I don't know sign language? Well, I have to start opening them. Do you see them or feel them? That's the question, Katie. Because I can see colors off people. So they don't show up in a human format for me, angel at all. Angels don't. It's like a glistening I see. It's like my eyes kind of change, and it's like it's so hard to explain. It's like an essence that you feel and it makes you see them. And I don't know how else to explain it other than a better way to say it is like sometimes, like if you get your hand and you go like that really fast, that glistening behind it is what you inevitably see out of the corner of your eye. And it makes you be like, whoa, what was that energy I just saw? It's more like that. And so I don't know. I hope that helps. So I can see the colors. So you ask if you can see them. The glistening is what changes for me. So, and I will say it is a feeling as well. It's just this. thing that just kind of comes over to you, and you're like, oh, that's what's happening in this moment. So anyways, I hope that helped. So that's how that works. And like I've said before, it really Michael started coming through more when the signs were everywhere. I've talked about him before. I was in Paris. That was my first archangel. That was my first, second. That was my second archangel. I had got a pendant from Saint Michael. It's a cathedral, and so that was kind of like the first thing. And then I received that because my twin flame son is named that, and so it just kind of like acclimated. And then before I knew it, I'm like, I meditated and I'm like, what was that blue light? I talked to my spiritual person. She's like, you need to start Googling Archangel Michael. And then it just kind of all came together. So that's what I mean by you kind of just go down this trail and you start asking questions and then it slowly comes to you. So I'm gonna do work your light cards. And the first four come up, and I'm going to go with them this morning. First one, the ever unfolding rose. I love this. This is just that idea that you don't ever have to have it all figured out. Everything's happening for you. It's not happening to you. You know, breathe, realize this. I always say this life is long, right? It might go by really fast, but it's long and things change by the blink of your eye. The next one, warrior woman. You know, immediately what comes to mind with this is when you think of like Superwoman, she's fine by herself. She makes it all happen, right? She's boss. She's going to manifest what she needs to manifest for her life when she needs to. So something that just came to mind, and talk about the angels talking to me. You asked how I see them, and the angels just this is how they talk to me. They wanted me to say my guides I see differently. So they're like, explain this concept. So my guides I see almost like cartoon characters. And in order to tune into my guides, it's a different frequency than the angels. So for me, I just close my eyes and pictures start coming to me, and then I look deeper, and then I can see characteristics of them. And the characteristics of these little cartoon characters um, basically are supportive little people or creatures that help me with what's happening to me at that time. So before I knew I was going to make a deck of cards, this tarot card reader came to me. She was this older woman, I don't know, probably late 60s, long flowy hair, and almost looked like a witch from like a book, to make me kind of laugh with her and giggle. And she had these glasses that would come on the tip of her nose. But it's like my guides make me be playful with them to figure out more about them. And that curiosity is what basically unfolds with what happens in my everyday life when I talk to them. So the next one's dance. This is just the idea that when you shift your energy, you shift your life. And when you shift your life and you see life through a different lens, it makes you have a different perspective. Prioritization, or sorry, protection. I apologize. And this is the idea that when we cut our cords or we create boundaries, we basically hold our power within ourselves. This reminds me of a line I saw on Instagram, and that is, you know, just like we block people on Instagram, you create those same boundaries in your everyday life. It's soul retrieval. And also, I've realized on Instagram that even when you want to block someone, if they have 65 accounts and you can't block them, inevitably it's just easier to unblock them and allow them to realize that it gets to a place where it's not a game. It's a place of you have to just retrieve your soul and not concentrate on it. Whether that means not watching who follows you, whatever helps you just move forward and not allow yourself to ever get wrapped up into that power struggle, because that's inevitably what it is. Um, and get grounded. So right now, I mean, get grounded is really hard for me, right? I'm learning how to create a life with the matrix, as they say, and have balance. So my dog and I, we wake up at 5, we have coffee, we walk a half hour. I shower, I drop him off at doggy daycare. So I know that's 2 hours in the morning I get to spend with him. He goes to doggy daycare, I go to work. I stay till about 4ish, and then I come home, grab him, we go run, go to the dog park, everything else. But it's learning that in this moment, I actually had to have a schedule or I can't fit it all in, right? And unfortunately, in that schedule, what ends up happening is I have to make time to connect with nature. I have to make time to sit outside. I have to make time to work out, to meditate, right? So the meditation's in the shower, the nature's outside with the dog, and just be and make yourself and also remind yourself that you're probably an empath or a highly sensitive person if you're on my channel, and just remembering that you have to have that decompression and where that falls into place. I mean, on Tuesday or Wednesday this week, um, it was so much that the dog curled up in my arms at 6:15 at night and we were asleep. I don't know what we were doing sleeping at 6:15. I thought maybe we were getting sick, but whatever it was, we slept it off. But sometimes your energy just needs that recharge when you're taking everybody's energy on, you know? So the next card I pull is the Moonology cards. Um, they just fell into my hand, so I'm going with them. Uh, and we'll see what happens. One slid off. A new start is coming. I love that, right? It's because that's exactly what's happening, right? We just got over the Chinese New Year full moon? No, new moon. New year. Sorry, I couldn't get there, but I got there eventually. New year. And it's funny, the week before that, oh my gosh, it was so dark almost. I couldn't even speak. And now I'm realizing it just feels like time's going 900 miles an hour if you can't tell by how fast I'm talking this morning. But it's this new start, this new basically format of energy. So right now is the time to like really get clear with what your schedule is, what you want to manifest for the next year. And if you can envision this, you get new. Oh, there you go. Thanks, Katie. If you can think about this, if you had a line, a timeline, I think of a ruler stick and you mark lines and then you see someone running through those lines. Think of the person running through the lines as the energy that is being forced through all those goals you have and the outcome. So, anyways, I just thought of my guy friend who always says Gorgina. And that's exactly how I feel about that moment. It was just this really glorious, gorgeous moment when you could see that energy fall through. So, I thought of Archangel Michael, and I'm still gonna pull them. I brought the Archangel cards out, or the angel cards. I guess they're not Archangel. And I just want to pull a couple and see what comes forward to me on these. The deck is massive, so I can't naturally shuffle them, but two just flew out. So those are the ones we're gonna go with today. And I just want to see what they're saying. And how they fly out. Solutions in the sun. Okay, of course, number 19 comes out. I've talked about number 19 a lot. My best friend growing up, it was her birthday, my twin flames birthday, same. And it was also my soccer number. So 19 means a lot to me. And it's the sun. My twin and I radiate with the sun. She radiates or fills the moon. As you can tell, how I mess around with the moon all the time. I don't know much about the moon. A lot of people are into it. I think it's great for them. I'm very supportive. I know the moon has a lot of powers. I don't really resonate with it, other than it's really pretty when it's full, and I love the stars. But my twin is like magnetized to the moon. Everything happens with the moon. If there was powers of the sun and it had cycles or whatever, I'd be into the sun. I love the sun. I love warm weather. I'm about the sun. And I'm a Leo, so I don't know if that matters. Probably not, because my twin's a Leo too and likes the moon. So anyways, this is the sun, Archangel Uriel. I don't really see Archangel Uriel a lot. I do know this angel comes around the twins a lot. Liz talks about Archangel Uriel, so I would tell you to go to her station if that's an angel you want to hear about. But this is just reiterating that life is wonderful. You see this really beautiful magnetic angel riding this unicorn out, and it's just reminding you that like it's okay. It's okay, right? Like just thrive through this power of positive thinking, right? And the more positive you are, you just will inspire success. And it's that idea of, it's Abraham Hicks. When you feel success, you are success, and you manifest success, and you attract success. So there we go. Hi, Wendelicious. And then the next one, solutions. I don't want to get too into this because I think there's too many people that talk about this. It is Archangel Zadkiel. Again, I don't deal with that archangel a lot. I do know Liz has spoke about that archangel. I don't think she really deals with Archangel Zadkiel a lot either. I can see him. He's purple. He comes in like a violent tone, and he's like way, way back in the back. He's for me, he's not very powerful in the sense that it just doesn't resonate. Like Archangel Gabriel is my boy. I always say he's probably the twin flame, same sex archangel. Anyways, this is talking about solutions. And I'm just going to go back to this. What I don't really want to get into, but what I do feel is there are a lot of cycles right now with twin flames coming back up again. And what I mean by that is, for however long you've been on your twin flame journey, I do feel one of those cycles is closing out for people. I think a big part of it has to do with COVID. I think there's a number of reasons. I think the energy in the planet is in a different place. I think people have started focusing on different things, what's important, what's not. COVID, I think, frightened a lot of people, and not be and then the masculines not being able to control certain things. A lot of feminines that thought they were feminines realized they're really masculines and they were wounded. There's just this big massive shift with the twin flames right now, and I feel like this angel is coming through that just says there's an objective compromise coming through here, right? And what I mean by objective compromise is it's one of those things where it feels like a complete reset. It feels like this self control, being able to look at yourself in the mirror and really become the person you want to be, and not caring what your twin's doing. And then if it naturally collide, it collides, but you realizing that you truly are fine, and um I don't know, and just knowing that balance in love. Anyways, Archangel Zadkiel is coming here to just give us some forgiving and healing energy. Again, I think this complements the 19 because it popped out at the same time for the twins. And it's just, he's just saying, have patience, breathe into life. One thing for me, and I guess I haven't really spoken about it a lot, that's really, really helped me let go of my twin to the degree that you can is I just really started focusing on myself and all of the things that people said that I couldn't be. So all the haters, I just did. So like someone was like, "Ah, you can't just jump from art world, corporate world." I did it. Like I got my body back in shape. Oh, you can't move to another state and hop around. I did. Oh, you can't attract that really good job and car. I did. It's like I just wrote myself a list, and I'm not saying for you to do this, but all the things that I kept hearing and all of my insecurities, I was like, I'm going to be that as if I'm dating myself. And I got to a place where I wanted to date me. Like, here's a stupid thing. I've always been enamored with people with fingernails. I'm like, I'm going to go get fingernails. Like, I want to know what that's like. So everything that I was curious about when it came to somebody else, or like, why does somebody go to yoga, or why do they wear those tight pants at Pilates? I went and got all that and showed up and did it all. And so in turn, when I did all that, it took a lot of the curiosity of dating other people because of what they were doing or what they had or whatever that may be. It brought it all back into me. And when you can date yourself and have all those, you don't have that yearning to need or want to be around someone as much. That's one thing that really happened to me. So I have a question. I have PTSD and work hard to keep triggers under control, aka monkey brain can spiral, right? We all know Mr. Anxiety. If positive thinking is a challenge, does that stop attract blessings or even the twin? So I think you're narrowing it down and focusing on the twin in that moment too much, to be honest, but I do get where you're coming from. The biggest thing that changed me, I mean, biggest, if I could ever give anybody advice, is I got on YouTube and I YouTube Abraham Hicks. And I was listening to that like 3 hours a day or 4 hours a day. Every time I was in the car, every time I was walking, every time I was painting, I just picked a different Abraham Hicks video. So, like, I forget what all of her things are talked to. You can talk about it. You can ask her any question, like Google how to be happy, Abraham Hicks, like uplift my energy, going through a divorce, whatever the case may be. And it, I will say I have always been a positive person. I grew up with a parent that was really negative. He thinks of the negative and everybody's out to get him. I think of the positive. So, I will say though that when I did Abraham Hicks, what changed for me is I started talking, right? It's all about the vocabulary. When you're positive, you only manifest and attract positive people because all the people that are negative, because, right, like attracts like, negative attracts negative. So if you want to be in the lightness and you want to always be positive and you want to attract positive people, talk positively. And then all the people that don't resonate will fall off. And what's great about that is then you only have positive people around you. So if you have a dip, all of your friends and all of your support will uplift you. Don't even feed into the drama, the gossip, all of the negative. Just think everything's happening for you, even if it feels negative. You know, yesterday I went to the hairstylist. She totally messed up my hair. I was supposed to be there an hour and a half. I was there for 2.5 hours. I was like, I gotta go. I have a meeting. So today I get this text, hey, Brooke, can you come back in? And I was like, I can. All right, I can. Am I annoyed? Of course. But it's like, she wrote me, yes, YES. And so I wrote, yes, queen, because I want it to be a positive experience. I don't know why we're meant to talk twice. Who knows? Maybe there's a bigger lesson here that I'm missing. I mean, maybe the love of my life will be sitting there when I get there. Maybe somebody has some important business opportunity for me, but I have to stay open because to me, it's like we don't know where it goes. We don't know what the universe is showing me in that moment. So, do you see how I changed that maybe negative thing to a positive? So, when we only see positivity, only positive things are happening for us. My dad jokes that this is just why life works for me, but it does, right? Anytime other people get bent out of shape, I don't allow it to. So, I'm talking to Gabriel. Of course, I got to jump off here because I have a meeting, which is annoying because I'd love to keep talking for a little bit more. But the first card that pops out for Gabriel, and I'm feeling this, so I'm just going to put him back down, is deserving. And, you know, this is this idea that when we get wrapped up in all this drama with the twin flame and the negativity, and we get down and we see that all those triggers, we have to turn that all those triggers into positivity, right? And realize there's so much more magic in this world. And even more so, you are here because you deserve the magic, right? That's why we're all on this planet, to uplift the collective. You are deserving to be chosen to help uplift the collective. Look at it that way. Like, everybody thinks there's all these humans. Well, where's all the energy that's not on this planet? You were a chosen one. So you, like all God's children, deserve happiness, health, and love. And I love that we got that card because I think it answers your question, Wendelicious. But I can go on and on. But just remember, and I want to leave you guys with this. You know, my mom passed when I was 8, as did other people I know. I've had a lot of people pass over, my grandparents, my best friend. And what I'll say to you is this: if you can feel people that have passed over from you, that means you can always feel your twin if your twin is still on this plane as well. Because once we really figure out it's just all energy and all magnets, it works, right? And to answer your question, Wendy, you and your twin, you mirror each other to a point. So if one of you guys is really negative and the other one's positive, that's not true. It's how you're physically projecting your internal energies. So don't worry about what your twin is doing. Treat yourself like the beautiful human you are. uplift yourself, get yourself positive, and when you radiate so strong, the whole planet will be attracted to you. I promise you. It happens every day. So just being positive, being kind, being caring, it all comes back tenfold. So thank you guys for being here. I appreciate it so much. And I hope to see you soon. And I'll try to jump back on here. Have a good day, guys. Bye.